Gregor, you've signed a new contract as Scotland head coach up until April 2026. You must be delighted to have secured your future here.
Yes, very, very honoured. I do feel massively privileged to be in this role, to still be working with the national team. And I'm very excited about what this group can do over the next year or two. I think we've shown, and the players have shown over the last few campaigns, that they're a match for anybody in the world. And we can improve. We can improve further, the players as individuals, but also as a group, the more we come together.
Just in terms of your role as head coach, how much does it mean for you to lead Scotland? Because you've played for Scotland, you've been an assistant coach and a head coach, but how much does this role mean?
Oh, it gives you a huge purpose in your life, to know that you have a position of responsibility, to know that you're doing something you love doing, to do it with people you love working with. So that's hugely exciting and motivating. And also with the way the players and the group are performing, it makes the job even more special. So yeah, it's a great time to be involved with the national team. It's always a challenging time because you've got very good teams competing in the Six Nations and the World Cup and November tests, but we can't wait to take on the challenges that are ahead.
It was an exciting Six Nations that we were part of at the start of the year. How much does that drive you going forward for the next 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, improvement drives us. So we believe in our game. We believe in the players that drive that game, but we know we have to be more accurate. That is a goal. Taking opportunities on the back of creating them. And that's the hard work. It's the hard work that goes in the training field, the learning from defeats or errors, but it's all about us improving. So the team have made really good strides over the last 12 months. We've just got to keep working to improve over the next 12 months.
We're still in May, but the focus is now really turning to that Rugby World Cup. You've named your training squad today. You often speak about cohesion and consistency, and that's definitely evident in the squad that you've chosen today.
Yes, I think we learned a lot as coaches over the years, and this Six Nations was a key learning for us at building that cohesion. Players earn their selection, and if they go well, you got more chance of playing. But the cohesion really helped us improve as a squad, and that's going to be really important and exciting over the next few months. So we get to work with the group of players for the 3 months, 4 months, which only happens once every 4 years. So we'll have a real rugby focus with that group of players. And we know that they work hard and they want to improve. So building those links with each other, the combinations, the understanding of the game that we believe will help us win, that has shown that we can win, is that next step in our journey together.
I know you've been sort of locked in talks with other coaches in terms of your selections in various positions. What were the sort of areas of contention?
Oh, lots. I think, and it shows the depth that we have in our squad. Like last week, we spent 2 hours on the hooker position, and we had another hour on it yesterday. You've got positions like centre, second row, back row that are always competitive, and we could easily have picked a bigger squad. We picked a bigger squad 4 years ago. Let's see, Wales picked 55 players. I hear England are picking 60 players, and that would be an easy thing to do, to include players that are good enough to be in our squad, but we feel the right thing is to keep that squad as tight as possible so we can build that cohesion, work with players that are more likely to go to the World Cup than a wider squad. So that should help our training sessions, but it is difficult for those that have missed out.
You spoke about a lot of discussions around hooker in particular. Stuart McInally's made the squad. He'll be hoping that he ends his career on a high.
Yeah, well, first of all, he's playing well. He's hugely motivated. We feel that he's in great physical shape, and he was unlucky with injuries this year. He was playing really well up to the Six Nations, and then had to step down for a couple of months with a head injury. And he's obviously timed his run well. He's played a few games since the Six Nations. Looks sharp, and we know he's got experience of playing for Scotland, playing for Scotland in World Cups, and he's very determined to play his best rugby now as he comes to the end of his career.
And Jamie Dobie included as a fourth scrum half. What stood out about him?
Well, Jamie's always been someone that we've had high hopes for, and we know he's competing with two players that featured a lot in our squad, in George and Ali. But he's been able to play more rugby recently, albeit on the wing. He brings a lot of strengths that suit the way we want to play, which is nines playing at pace, nines taking on the defence, and we feel that his time competing with these players, we'll see the best of him in this camp. We're going to have a month's training, starting in 3 weeks' time. Not everyone will be involved at the beginning of that training, just given their own seasons and where they finish. But we'll have the bulk of the squad there for that first block. We'll be based here at Oriam, our normal base, and then we will have a week out in France where we're going to be based for the World Cup. We then give the players a couple of weeks off at the beginning of July, and then when they come back in, that's us until the end of the tournament, or how far we go in the tournament. So it will be a demanding time for the players, but they know that they're going to have rests at the end of the season and between our first block and second block. But we also know they're very excited to come in and carry on all the good work they did in the Six Nations, but also the connections they built off the field.
And finally, we've got 3 home games in the summer from the Famous Grouse Nations Series. Talk to me about that connection with the supporters, because it seems to be as strong as it ever has been.
Yeah, and well, you feel it when you arrive at Murrayfield before games. You see it with the amount of people that are there for the teams arriving. You feel it in the anthems, you feel it during the games, but also after games when supporters are waiting to see players. So that's a credit to our supporters, but also our players who love connecting with our supporters, whether it's after the game when they're going around the field or signing autographs 2 hours after the final whistle. And I do feel there's a connection with the way the team's playing. The team are putting huge effort into the games. They're taking on the opposition with ball in hand, with the way they defend, and the crowd are feeling a real pride in the team. And we've got to make sure that continues, and also match the raised expectations a crowd have on our performances.